Neil Carlson here on the phone with Ryan Wisterman of Plummer, Minnesota. So tell me the story. You went shopping, you said, in Walmart in Thief River Falls today. What happened? What'd you buy?
My wife went up there and bought some water boots for my daughter. And then she brought them home and had her try them on. They fit good, so she cut off the tags. And then a little while later, my daughter said that her feet were bugging her. So she thought, rock in there, ice or whatever. So she took them off, and there was, I think there's scalpel blades.
It looked like scalpel blades in the boots?
Yeah. And the one stuck through the toe on the left, and the other one, I took a photo of it so people could see.
Okay. Did your daughter get hurt at all?
She did, and that I've noticed. I will look tonight.
Okay. So what's happened? You said your wife was calling customer service?
Yep, she called customer service. They apologized, and she'll be bringing the boots back. They're sending somebody to go look at the boots.
Okay. But anyway, it looked like scalpel blades, huh?
That's what I'd say. I mean, you can judge by the picture.
Okay.
It's not just a regular box cutter blade or a utility knife blade or a razor blade. It's, made to be held in scalp, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad nobody was hurt. Thanks for talking to me.
Absolutely, Neil. No problem.
North Dakota Democratic Convention is underway at the Alara Center in Grand Forks this weekend. Current candidates and even a retired senator all say the controversy surrounding President Trump and his administration will mean a major shift of voters over to the Democratic side.
Yes, I do. I think it's happening all over the country. It's very clear people are thinking anew, and they really want to get America back on track. So I think there's going to be a decided change in this election.
What do you think of all the controversy going on in the White House? I mean, just your opinion on it.
I have many Republican friends, some of whom are high-level staffers in the Congress, in the Senate, even in the administration, and they tell me it is complete chaos. And I guess we see it every night on the news.
I'm seeking the nomination for United States Senate under the Democratic Nonpartisan League ticket.
Do you think there's a big dynamic shift coming out there for those folks who were tired of things the last election cycle and go, well, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump, but now they've had enough of that and they're moving back to this side?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's about choosing sides at this point. I think it's about choosing people who are not funded by the swamp, people who actually bring forward people first initiatives, and I think that folks are tired of the big money in politics.
Do you think there's a dynamic shift coming from the last election? Folks were tired of things, and well, let's vote for Trump, and then that's going to shift back over now?
Well, if this is a wave election, I hope it's a wave of practicality that takes over. I think the country's sick of seeing things swing absolutely far left and far right. I think we need a course correction to the middle, and that's going to mean our elected leaders focusing on bread and butter issues, kitchen table issues like balancing the budget, North Dakota jobs, making sure people have access to quality health care. The partisan circus has gone on long enough in Washington, D.C., and I think people are ready to elect somebody who's going to pull up the stakes.
Kind of, what is the overall Democratic philosophy now for this cycle?
Well, what I think we need to do is just get back to basics. Talk about the issues that the people care about, that actually have an impact on their pocketbooks. Things like Social Security, things like getting rid of regulations that hurt North Dakota jobs. So really just to focus on the things that matter in people's lives and save the partisan sideshow for another day.
The big show for this convention is Saturday afternoon when former Vice President Joe Biden is scheduled to address the convention. An 18-year-old man from Barrett, Minnesota died in a single-vehicle accident early Saturday morning. Barrett is 20 miles west of Alexandria. The victim has been identified as 18-year-old Carter Dayton Overson. The State Patrol says the Olds Cutlass was northbound on Highway 55 and went off the road north of the city of Barrett. The underbrush and dry grasses under the vehicle caught fire and the vehicle burned. The driver did not escape the vehicle and the investigation is ongoing. We have an update regarding a vehicle going through the front window of Treat Play Love, a pet supply store at 1905 South Washington Street. I just talked with the police shift supervisor who says the female said she tried to put it in park, put her foot on the brake, and accidentally hit the gas and went through the window. Her name is not available. She's been ticketed for care required. Here's the dispatch call as it came in at 5:13 p.m. on this Saturday.
Station 1 Central, 1905 South Washington Street, 1905 South Washington Street, Treat Play Love for a vehicle that went through the front window of the business.
Again, a vehicle goes through the front window of Treat Play Love, a pet supply store at 1905 South Washington Street. No injuries. A female has been cited for care required.
Come on now, you can do this. You didn't think you could hide me over there, did you? Yeah. Ouch! Come on now! Woo-hoo! All right, we're going to do the alerts prior to Matt Huckgree playing music. Here we go. I don't think she's got enough speed, folks. Oh, boy. Whoa! Nemo is not there for you to find. You shouldn't get going.
An Ellendale, North Dakota man was seriously injured after rolling his vehicle multiple times at 9:41 p.m. Saturday night near Edgeley. The victim is 38-year-old Aaron Filbert. The patrol says the Avalon driven by Filbert was northbound on Highway 281 at a high rate of speed when it failed to maneuver a slight curve in the roadway near Edgeley. The vehicle left the road and rolled multiple times and before striking a frontage road and coming to rest on its wheels. Filbert suffered serious injuries. He was transported to Jamestown and then flown to a Fargo hospital. The crash remains under investigation by the patrol. They say Filbert has been charged with DUI. Just after 8 p.m. Saturday night, Grand Forks police were called to the area of North Washington Street and Gateway Drive for a report of an impaired driver. Our caller reported a vehicle description and believed the driver of the vehicle was impaired. Officers located the vehicle in the 3500 block of Gateway Drive and observed it driving westbound in the eastbound driving lanes. Officers attempted to stop the vehicle, but the driver refused to pull over, and a low-speed pursuit resulted. The pursuit lasted approximately 10 blocks and was confined to an area of South Gateway Drive between Stanford Road and North 39th Street. 67-year-old Grand Forks resident Daryl Azure was taken into custody and has preliminarily been charged with fleeing police in a motor vehicle, driving under the influence of alcohol, and driving under suspension. At 2:22 a.m. this Sunday morning, Grand Forks police officers were dispatched to the central parking ramp on First Avenue North for a reported motor vehicle crash. Initial investigation has revealed a 2007 Ford Explorer driven by 23-year-old Grand Forks resident Isaac Tafelmeyer was attempting to exit the parking ramp when it struck two vehicles parked in the ramp. Tafelmeyer's vehicle then continued into a concrete wall on the 5th Street side of the ramp, causing substantial damage to the wall of the ramp. The Grand Forks Fire Department responded to this crash to assess the structural integrity of the wall and secure it temporarily until permanent repairs can be made. Tafelmeyer was arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol. There were no injuries suffered as a result of this crash. I'm Neil Carlson reporting for iNews.TV.